For centuries, the scientific consensus rested on a rigid assumption: the universe is entirely made of dead matter. In this view, human consciousness is a late-arriving computational accident, a flicker of light produced by the brain's complex wiring. But between 2019 and 2026, a quiet insurrection took hold in neuroscience and physics. The attempt to explain awareness as a mere byproduct of matter hit a logical wall. The materialist emergency exit was closing. This led to the 2023 refinements of integrated information theory. By using a mathematical measure called phi, researchers began assigning a baseline level of integrated information to systems as simple as a single photon. Simultaneously, the ORC-OR model from Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff provided evidence for quantum coherence within microtubules. Their 2024 papers suggest that the same structures enabling human awareness operate in a simpler register throughout all of living nature. By mapping consciousness onto the subcellular and even the Planck scale, these theories begin to dissolve the distinction between matter and mind. The logic of materialism now suggests that consciousness is not an epiphenomenon, but a fundamental constituent of the field. This is the return of panpsychism, the claim that experience is intrinsic to matter at every scale. It suggests that even for an electron in its relational field, there is something it is like to exist. When consciousness is pushed down into the very foundations of reality, the boundary between the physical object and the mind perceiving it begins to shimmer. While these findings suggest a new frontier for Western physics, the architects of Vedantic philosophy utilized this exact tremor 3,000 years ago to bridge the gap between observer and observed. Panpsychism forces the modern mind to admit the universe is alive, yet it remains an incomplete map. It recognizes the presence of consciousness, but still struggles to define its fundamental architecture. Panpsychism serves as an honorable bridge. It provides the intellectual framework necessary to escape the restrictive confines of a purely mechanical universe. Biofield research and fascia science conducted between 2021 and 2026 support this. By mapping the piezoelectric properties of the body, scientists have shown that the human form is not a container for consciousness, but a lucid condensation of it. The same fluid dynamics and biophotonic coherence that allow for human interoception also appear, scaled differently, in plant networks and microbial colonies. However, panpsychism carries a subtle duality. It assumes that billions of tiny, individual consciousnesses must somehow combine to form a larger system. This creates a structural dead end. Any model attempting to build unity out of fragmented individual parts continues to rely on the illusion of separation. The Chandogya Upanishad addresses this by starting with Sat, existence only, one without a second. From Sat arises Chit, the luminosity by which existence knows itself. Ananda follows, representing the intrinsic satiety of a wholeness that tastes itself through every apparent fracture in reality. The rishis proposed a more radical architecture. There are no things. Only Brahman appears as things, and the appearance itself is made entirely of consciousness. In this view, the physical world is not a vessel for consciousness. It is a modulation within a single, undivided field. The Mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi functions as a conceptual scalpel. It is designed to strip away the names and forms of the observer until the illusion of a plural reality dissolves. This realization clarifies the nature of matter. An electron does not possess its own consciousness. The electron is a gesture of the one singular consciousness that you are. The Mandukya Upanishad calls this ground state Turiya. It is the field in which all other states of awareness arise, identical to the foundational proto-consciousness physicists now search for at the Planck scale. Verification requires looking away from the screen. Let your eyes rest on any object in your immediate environment, a stone, a leaf, or your own hand. Ask with gentle ferocity, to what is this appearing? Look for the me doing the observing. Try to find the physical boundary where that awareness ends and the object begins. The awareness watching this video is the same singular consciousness animating the universe. The bridge of panpsychism has done its work. You burn it now, because you have become the river it once crossed.